Greetings and welcome to the Cinematic Attic. I'm Mike. How you doing? As always, a fair warning to anyone who may be a snob about types of cinema, genre, video format. This may not be the place for you. But to anyone else and everyone else, welcome. Okay, so this time around, not quite as big a haul as the last two videos, and my wallet thanks me for that. But I do have some fun stuff to show. Now, last year I showed you all the horror films I watched for the month of October. I'm not going to do that this year necessarily. I have something else instead. But I can tell you that from this first thing I picked up, I watched all 7 films from this set during October. That is the imprint box of Silver Screams Cinema, which is not a new release. This has been out for a while. It's in fact out of print. And I was lucky enough to win it on eBay in an auction with only one other person who apparently wasn't there when it ended. So I easily got the winning bid for a decent price, probably not much more than it would have sold as a new item. So very happy about that. But this imprint set has 6 films listed, but there's also a 7th. So besides these 6 films, Phantom Speaks, Vampire's Ghost, Return of the Ape Man, Valley of the Zombies, She-Devil and the Unknown Terror, there is also The Lady and the Monster as a bonus feature on the Phantom Speaks disc. Why they didn't just make that a 7th film on the set, I don't know. Maybe they were concerned of the quality of it. I don't know. But there's 7 films here, and I watched all 7 during October. And like I said, this has been out for a while, so this is nothing new if you've seen this shown before. But I got this specifically because I wanted to watch B-movie horror. A lot of B-movie horror in October. And this is what this set is made of. Or I should say, that is what this set is made up of. B films from the 40s and 50s. So watch this whole set. No film on here was great, but they were all fun. They were exactly what I was looking for. So, got that. From my October order from Vinegar Syndrome, I only got 2 partner label titles. First from, and it's all shot on Video Fun. First from Saturn's Core, the double feature of Hayride Slaughter and Halloween Horrors. Double feature, 2 for the price of 1. Awesome. And they're Wave production films, which I enjoy, so got that. And from VHS, Hitfest, Psycho Paul's Film Festival. And just notice I didn't get either one with slipcovers. Just save a few dollars. Another shot on video, obscure movie. So, always enjoy those. And I've picked up everything so far from this partner label. So, moving on. Couple of Blu-rays that are not new, but they're both from Scream Factory. I got both of these because I discovered the DVDs I had are in full screen, and that there were indeed theatrical widescreen prints, which are on these Blu-rays only as far as I know. 4 Skulls of Jonathan Drake. And I have not seen this one, but I did see The Angry Red Planet years ago. Last video, I got a whole lot of B-westerns. This time around, not as much, at least not as much to feature up front here at the beginning of the video. I did get one Warner Archive disc that I totally missed last time. Totally didn't know that it existed, and Had to grab it right away. Wild Bill Elliott double feature, Fargo, but not that Fargo, and The Homesteaders. Also, I got this set from Echo Bridge. This is fantastic because it gives you all 66 Hopalong Cassidy films. So it's nice that you don't have to go hunt for all of them like you do with many of the other B-Western cowboys. They're all right here. That's fantastic. So very happy about that, and that pretty much outweighs whatever negatives there may be. And there certainly is one very huge negative about this set. So just be forewarned. You get two cases. This one has 35 films. This one has 31. But the discs inside, which are stacked, and I know some people don't like that. But even worse, these discs are not marked in any way, shape, or form as to which disc comes first, as to what films are on what disc. They all just have Hopalong Cassidy and a picture. Now, you can hope, and I haven't checked yet, I haven't put any of these discs in the player yet, but you can hope that they are in the order presented on the cases, because they are supposedly presented in order of release, which is nice. But if they are indeed brand new in the right order, I would recommend, well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, is I'm going to get a Sharpie, and I'm going to mark a little 1, 2, 3, 4 on these discs, so at least I know which order the discs are in. That is kind of an unforgivable mistake, but or not, it might not have even been a mistake. Regardless, I am, however, more happy than disappointed because, hey, for what, $25, $30, I have all 66 films in one presentation. So, yeah. From Cauldron, took them a little while, but eventually got Top Line Blu-ray with some really fun artwork on there. And I got this because I have this movie on a full screen DVD and wanted to get it in widescreen here. So Top Line. Kino Lorber had a sale. Another sale, I should say. And even though I had a cart full of like 30 items, I whittled it down to 8 items. And actually, before I get into that, I forgot to mention the Hopalong Cassidy set eliminates these 3 VHS for me. And these Kino purchases will upgrade some VHS for me as well. But not the first one. The first one, Curse of the Undead. Shortly before the sale, I watched this movie on Amazon Prime, or at least one of the channels through Prime, and thought it was awesome because it is, at least in 1959, the only movie that I can think of that combines pretty evenly horror in the form of vampires, a vampire, and a Western. So this is totally a Western where the bad guy, so to speak, is a cowboy vampire. And that may sound silly, but they play it serious. And I really thought it was awesome. And so getting onto the website to see what was offered during the Kino sale, I saw this and without any hesitation put that in my cart, and here we are. Next one, Village of the Giants. Some 1960s sci-fi goofiness. And I got this to upgrade this VHS. Next, one that I'd been meaning to get, Night Has a Thousand Eyes, Edward G. Robinson, 1948. I wanted to get this because it is a supernatural film noir, as it says on the back, and it also has Gail Russell, who I recently saw in the John Wayne film Angel and the Bad Man, and thought she was really good in that. So I wanted to see her in something else. So, Night Has a Thousand Eyes. The Mafu Cage. This one actually a Scorpion title that was in the sale with Carol Kane. She was currently on a recent season of one of the Star Trek shows. But this will upgrade this old, there we go, Magnum VHS that I have. Deep Star 6, directed by Sean S. Cunningham, and it will upgrade VHS for me. Pretty Baby. This is a newer title. I got this because I've always been curious to see it. And also, anytime a film or TV show is being talked about as controversial, I tend to buy it because in today's world, you never know when suddenly that won't be available. Maybe the TV episode will disappear off your favorite streaming service or something like that. So I get that little fear of censorship and purchase. But yep, got that. I, as you'll see in a minute, have also been into pre-code Hollywood films lately, and they had this collection as part of the sale, RKO Classic Romances. Putting romances in the title may dissuade some folks, but this is really just five pre-code films. Millie Kept Husbands, The Lady Refuses, The Woman Between, and Sin Takes a Holiday on 2 discs. So as I'm learning about pre-code films, it's always great to, as you're reading, look up a film and say, hey, I own that. Let me watch that. So I'll grab that. And the final one from the sale, Charles Bronson, good old Chuck, Mr. Majestic. This one I got to upgrade a VHS, mainly. But this was actually, as far as I can remember, the first Charles Bronson film I ever saw. And I remember when I first saw this, I actually didn't see the whole film. I just saw maybe, I don't even know. I'm lucky if I saw half an hour of it. When I was a kid, and I was on some family outing where we went to some cabin and took a boat ride down the river. But at the cabin, this movie was on TV. And then later, I found that VHS I just showed you, I think at a drugstore, and bought it and watched it. So as far as I know, this is my first Bronson film. So I wanted to go ahead and upgrade that one. Next few items you can file under the cheaper alternative. As you may know, one company or another, maybe even Blue Underground, put out recently a really nice edition of Mark of the Devil. I didn't want to pay that much to upgrade it because I do have it on VHS. I'm keeping the VHS, but I did want to upgrade it. So I got this Blue Underground DVD from years ago just to do that. and that's all I need. I'm happy, I'm fine. They also released recently a new edition of It, the Terror from Beyond Space. And I actually found there was a previous Blu-ray from Olive. So I just grabbed that one for a cheaper price. And it will actually upgrade this VHS. And the last one in that category, Invaders from Mars. Recently came out on a new edition. And I had wanted to upgrade that VHS anyway. And so I did a little browsing and found this Old Image Entertainment DVD, 50th Anniversary Special Edition, for a nice price, and said, okay, I'm done. So as I said, I was getting into some pre-code cinema. And so I bought a few things that have been on my cart for quite a while, in my save for later cart. One is this Universal set, Pre-Code Hollywood. You get 6 films here. And you can see the 6 that you get. And what's interesting about this release is that in addition to the movies, you get this little envelope. Looks like some classified information. Inside, what you actually get is a copy of the production code that they had to follow. This is dated 1934. So, you know, these films that I'm watching are pre-1934 usually, and this is the code that they then had to follow. So it's really kind of neat to get a copy of this in your home video selection. Next up, Columbia Pictures Pre-Code Collection. With that, you get 2 Barbara Stanwyck films, 10 Cents a Dance and Shop Worn, as well as Arizona with John Wayne, 3 Wise Girls with Jean Harlow, and Virtue with Carole Lombard. And this set, at least the version I got, is a made-on-demand style release, but that's okay with me. So I grabbed that collection. And I got in single release to upgrade this VHS, the Blu-ray of Public Enemy with Cagney and Harlow. So, birthday? October contains my birthday, not birthday contains October. And as one of my birthday gifts, I got this Vestron Blu-ray of Return of the Living Dead 3, which I have only ever had on this VHS that I can upgrade now. And I had never seen this, even though I owned that VHS. So I watched this, and it's a good film. It's a zombie love story, essentially. But yeah, so another one for the Vestron collection. From Criterion, to upgrade a full-screen DVD, I got One-Eyed Jacks, directed by Marlon Brando and starring Marlon Brando. To further support the physical release of streaming premiered movies, I picked up Prey, the Predator prequel, on 4K. And I did want to get the 4K because I love this movie and I wanted to own it in 4K. But if you haven't checked this out and you have any, even if you don't like Predator films, this is just a really good movie. So, recommend that one. And the final thing that I'm going to highlight here at the beginning of the video, from Film Masters, the double feature of Giant Gila Monster and the Killer Shrews. You get them on separate discs. You get a booklet, nice big booklet in there. And the reason I got this in particular was because I own these films, of course, probably in a couple different public domain sets. But here you get them in their theatrical widescreen editions, as well as, looking, remastered and everything. And of course, that's what I always try to do, is get things in its proper aspect ratio. So, no brainer there. So, yep. I think this is my first Film Masters purchase. So that'll do it for everything I wanted to spotlight. Here's everything else I picked up from eBay. I got a nice price on a lot of all 12 volumes of VCI's Red Ryder. All double features except for the last, which is a triple feature. Some more Westerns with a 10-film Charles Starrett Durango Kid collection from Mill Creek from eBay. From eBay. From an antique mall. Which means these VHS can go away now. From eBay. So I recently got a lot of old Western and some other assorted DVDs. And when I say a lot, I mean an eBay lot, but there are a lot here. A lot of them are Alpha Video and other things. And I'm going to show you what I got. Some Tom Mix silent Westerns. A lot of William S. Hart Westerns. He was another big silent Western star. Got some Ken Maynard, another Western star who was in silent films and sound pictures. This is considered a very good one. I did watch it. It's a silent movie, but it is very well done, very effective. 1916. And like I said, there's some other things in there, including Chaplin and some of his impersonators' short films. There are also some movie serials in here. And can you imagine seeing this film in 1920? Leo Maloney was another actor in Western films, silent films. And of course, this is just a full screen version of a Italian Western, which I already have. So there were, like I said, a lot of alpha video. There were also some VCI. I watched some Buck Jones Westerns, and they were pretty good. But I'm just eating this stuff up. I'm just watching these nonstop. Do have some more bootleggish type items, but some of this stuff you can't get otherwise. 1920s Westerns, silent Westerns. Grapevine Video apparently was a place to get those. I have a number of their releases here. For me right now, learning about all of these Western cowboy stars and from the silent and mostly from the sound era, but from the silent too. This was a gold mine of a find on eBay, and for the price, these turned out to be roughly $1 each. So great deal. Bronco Billy, one of the first silent Western stars. I think I only had 1 or 2 DVDs from this company. Again, a kind of bootleg company. Sinister Cinema. It was funny seeing Snapper Case, but this is an Image Entertainment disc, actually, of a YMS Heart film. A little surprised by that, but hey, it's fine. Good old Yakima, back when he was actually starring in Westerns instead of either doing stunts or smaller parts. We got some Chaplin. Got some TV. A couple collections of Peter Gunn. Got some Kino, Buster Keaton. And there were some more well-known things in there. This set actually upgrades a VHS and another DVD. This actually upgrades a single disc DVD. This is an old NBC television documentary about the early days of the automobile, hosted by Groucho Marx. I watched this. It was quite interesting in a good way. And last one. So yeah, very super happy to get this. A lot of DVDs from eBay. And that lot of DVDs will allow me to get rid of these items. Got some items from Goodwill. This is a made-for-TV movie that was in full screen, so don't have to worry about that. This older Criterion DVD edition of All That Heaven Allows, one of my favorite films. Obviously, I have this on Criterion Blu-ray, but slightly different special features and artwork. For a couple bucks, I grabbed it. And these will upgrade these VHS. Some more VHS for deletion. Got some more old Western goodness. Roy Rogers 20 feature film collection, authorized. Mill Creek. There you go. I bought another eBay lot of old Westerns Alpha Video, and here's what I got. That's a whoops. And there you go. From Disney Movie Club, because I forgot to decline this selection. Oh well. And a couple more for deletion. From eBay. Free with Disney reward points. More old B Western goodness with these two sets from Mill Creek. This one specifically Billy the Kid, mostly Buster Crabbe films. And then this 100 movie set, which miraculously has mostly movies that are on no other set. So that's awesome. And they will upgrade these VHS. From eBay. A coworker gave me some free movies, and this is the only thing I didn't have already. Second and Charles had a buy two, get two free sale. So I got some DVDs, these two, upgrade these VHS. Couple DVDs from Dollar Tree, and this one will upgrade that VHS. Okay, so as I said earlier, I'm not going to go over all of the films I watched in October, all the horror films, but instead I want to do this extended Pantheon segment on all of the zombie films that are in my favorite films of all time list. Those that I've already talked about are Outpost, and you could count Burglar from Hell. It is a reanimated corpse that is killing people and falling apart. You could count that. But I have 12 more here that I have not talked about, that I'm going to do so now. These are, again, in my list of favorite films of all time, and they all include zombies, one of my favorite genres of horror, subgenres of horror. First, of course, you have to include Night of the Living Dead. Kind of a pun here, but no brainer. Night of the Living Dead, of course, classic film. What do you say about this? This is obviously, you know, the origin of pretty much all of the modern zombie films that we watch and enjoy. Romero, obviously, classic there, followed by, of course, one of the greatest zombie films of all time, and for quite a while, my favorite. I'm not sure right now if I do have a favorite anymore, but for a long time, this was my favorite zombie film, and could still be. Dawn of the Dead, also Romero, the second Romero zombie film. This is my old 4-disc Anchor Bay special edition with several cuts of the film and lots of special features. So, of course, Dawn of the Dead. And I have been to the mall in Monroeville where this was filmed. And it was really kind of cool to walk through the mall. And this was years ago. To walk through the mall and look around and recognize places where you saw scenes of the movie, inside and outside. I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know how much has changed. But, yeah. Dawn of the Dead. Now, moving into some others. Of course, you have Zombie. Classic Fulci. Also known as Zombie 2, a sequel to Dawn of the Dead in Italy, which there was called Zombie. But this is the classic film, Splinter in the Eye, zombie underwater. One of the creepiest and best zombie films ever. Zombie, you all know Zombie, just like you know Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. Some that are maybe not quite so common. We have The Video Dead. And this one is, I haven't seen it in a while, but I remember I loved it because of the premise of zombies coming out of a television, main characters not surviving when you expect them to. Just a lot of chaos and low budget fun. Video Dead here on this Scream Factory double feature. Yeah, Video Dead. Another Blue Underground disc. The Living Dead at Manchester Morgue. This goes by several other titles, including Let Sleeping Corpses Lie and Don't Open the Window. But it's been a while since I've seen this too, but I remember I loved it, put it on my list. Zombies at the Manchester Morgue. One of my all-time favorite titles. Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. In my movie watching history, this was the very first movie I ever got on disc from Netflix way back when to watch. I figured that would be a great title to start with, and I ended up loving the movie. I remember it when I saw it back then, and that was a long time ago. I remember the beginning seemed a little slow, but then it picked up and went crazy. I think if I would watch it now, I'd enjoy the whole thing. But definitely loved it enough to put it on my Pantheon. So yeah, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things. And of course this has a much nicer edition these days, but I'm fine with this. Another Blue Underground disc. Shockwaves. Nazi Zombies. This whole movie is like a nightmare. It has that kind of atmosphere and feeling. And it has the famous image of these zombies walking out of the ocean, walking out of the water. This is just a really delightfully atmospheric film from 1976, directed by Ken Wiederhorn. Next up, you can't forget Return of the Living Dead. You can't forget this one. One of the greatest zombie films, also kind of zombie comedy films, but it definitely brings the seriousness. So it's one of those zombie films that brings comedy but doesn't leave out the horror and suspense. This is just a fun movie. The oily zombie guy is one of the creepiest zombies I've ever seen. That is a creature that if you ever saw that coming at you, um, that would be terrifying. But yeah, classic Dan O'Bannon film here. Can't go wrong with this one. Next up, a short zombie film. I don't mean actual short film. I mean this one's only about an hour long. Let's see, about an hour long. Garden of the Dead, right here. Um, this is an early film with running zombies. Zombies that are running at you with implements, like I don't know, shovels and things that they pick up to help kill you. But I remember seeing this for the first time on this VHS that I'm keeping, at least for now. Tomb of the Undead. I first saw it on this tape and loved it. I thought it was such a goofy little awesome fun time, and I found this DVD later. But yeah, and this VHS, I have to say, is pretty darn cool. It's from Silver Mine Video, and last time I checked on eBay, this was going for ridiculous prices, and I don't even remember where I found this. But I'm glad I have it. It's one of those VHS that I would sell, but I'm not on eBay, so I'm just gonna keep it, at least for now. So, Garden of the Dead, also known as Tomb of the Undead. Another film with zombies that can run. Nightmare City, Umberto Lenzi. This one on Raro Video. This one is one of those fun movies where once you reach the end, well, I won't give it away, but it's a type of device that I've seen used before, and it's used to good effect here. Nightmare City. And I will say right now, for those of you who feel like leaving comments about this, I am not about to engage on any kind of level on what is a zombie and what is not a zombie. Don't even. Don't even. Next up, classic zombie comedy, Shaun of the Dead. First saw this, thought it was magnificent. One of the greatest uses of a Queen song ever. But yeah, this is just a great film. I'm sure you've seen it. Shaun of the Dead, if you haven't seen it. And the last one, as I try to run through all these pretty quick. Tombs of the Blind Dead. This is a spectacular, spooky film. And this is one where people might argue, are they zombies? I mean, they're like skeletal figures in cloaks riding horses. Whatever. These are some of the creepiest creatures you'll see in film. At least to me. And I got this Blue Underground DVD as part of the well-known coffin set of all the Blind Dead films, but the first one is in my pantheon, one of my favorites. So yeah. So there you go, just a quick run through of zombie films in my list of favorite films of all time in the spirit of Halloween, which is already past us, unfortunately. But we are in November, Noirvember, so all is well. Anyway, here's something else. In this episode's bookshelf segment, I have 4 books to look at really quickly. And also, I wanted to revisit this book really fast from last time. As far as books on B-Westerns of the 30s and 40s and early 50s, I mentioned this book and I hadn't started reading it then. I have started reading it now, and it is one of the best, most comprehensive looks at that topic that you can find. Hollywood Corral by Don Miller. Just wanted to verify for everyone that this is excellent if you're interested in the topic. It is just a massive monster to read, though. A couple other items I got involving B-Westerns. I did pick up this book, Saturdays Forever by Harold Smith. A personal journey through the era of B-Western films, which is exactly what this is. He does go through the different characters and heroes and villains and lots of pictures, that kind of thing. So, that's another cool ride. The only thing, though, that I want to give you a warning about, this guy, this author, is a very biased in his views of what should be in a film. Let me read a couple passages because this is just fascinating. This is from the first chapter / introduction, where it's basically one big lecture on morals in movies. And one line here is, "Censorship is a nasty word to many, but I can see its uses." Beware of anyone saying that. He's talking about modern films of the day when this book was published, 1984, I'm guessing. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, he mentions, which is supposed to be for the family, and it is truly a violent, revolting landscape that no child should be allowed to see. So make of that what you will, but at least there's B-Western content. And this one's just for fun. So this is something I picked up for a few dollars. Wasn't even sure what I was getting. But Saddle Gals, a filmography of female players in B-Westerns of the Sound era by Steve Turner and Edgar M. Wyatt. This is essentially just a checklist book where it lists all of the actresses who are in B-Westerns and what films they were in, so that if you are a fan of a particular actress in a B film, you can find all of her other films. So kind of like an early IMDb for the ladies of B-Westerns. Hey, why not? So I mentioned I was also into pre-code cinema, and I picked up a couple books about that. The first book I picked has a salacious title that does not really sell what's in the book. It may sell the book, but it doesn't sell what's in the book. This is as salacious as this book gets, this cover. And fortunately, I didn't buy it because of this title. I bought it because of the subtitle. The Pre-Code Years, 1929 to 1934 by Lou Sabini. And it is just exactly what I want, what I like to see. It gives you capsule looks at films of the pre-code era, early 30s. Talks about the films, the actors, the directors, but it goes film by film. And it, let's see, 107 films are talked about in this book. So I will say the author does, in many of these capsule reviews, talk a little bit more about the actors and the directors than he does the actual film. But, whatever. I still learn a lot. And as you can see, I'm almost done with it. So if you're interested in pre-code cinema, this is a good tool to learn about what films there are and a little bit about what's in them. The book that I bought that I haven't started yet, that kind of gives you more of a history of pre-code Hollywood, is this one by Mark Vieira, Sin and Soft Focus, Pre-Code Hollywood. So this one is, like I said, more of a history. With lots of pictures and examples of what made pre-code films pre-code films. So, yeah. So yeah, those are all books that I picked up recently to support the mood of film watching I was in. So anyway, if any of those look interesting to you, check them out. But that'll do it for this episode of The Cinematic Attic. Until next time, everyone, enjoy your movies.